What are the best setups you can have for your lord for fighting and for gathering? There's also some other bonus things in there too. I'll take you through that all now. If you're spending in the game, using Amazon App Store can get you up to 20% off, so check out the link in the description down below. Okay, so if you click on your lord at the top left and then on talent points, you'll hopefully have come across the 3 different branches of talent points that your lord can have. More points you've accumulated, the further down these trees you can go, but I can tell you that there is no time when you can get every single one of these skills unlocked at the same time. You will always have to choose. However big you get in the game, there's always going to be multiple paths you can take. So which one should you do? Well, the answer is actually there's more than one. There's multiple things that you want to be focusing on, but you don't want to do them all at once. So when you're starting out, I'd say if you're trying to grow as fast as possible, I like the economy branch to get going. This is a great one to build faster, but if you're constantly being smashed by other players, you might be tempted to go onto the war branch. But main problem with this is the kind of benefits you're going to get from these stats, they're not going to make the difference in you winning and losing a lot of battles. So the costs of getting all of these great extra battle boosts, they're nice, but if you're going to be on one permanent setup, my personal view is you want to focus on the economy branch and the balance branch. So which bits, I'll take you through that later. Now, if you are a little bit further through the game, you've got this huge benefit in VIP. You do have one benefit once you get to VIP level 12. This is a big one. You get hold of the ability to switch between 2 different sets of gears. So if you are close to VIP 12, it's really worth pushing. That's such a great one for being able to switch from war mode to gathering mode, or whatever your second mode is, switch back free of charge. Every other switch you do, it's going to be costing you. Okay, so the war branch, probably self-explanatory. This is to boost the fighting effectiveness of your troops, but it has some other little boosts in here as well. So march speed, this will improve other things. So if you're gathering, getting resources out of farms and the like, so there is a win on that. Emergency recall. Best used when you're fighting, but you may also just wish to use it when I'm going home from Solaris, for example. I will recall my troops if they're miles away, and there are other events where you need to get somewhere fast, so you need to pull those troops back. Now march capacity, again, it's inverted commas only for war mode, but march capacity can increase your carrying load as well for your troops. So if you're clearing your own farms, or if you're clearing somebody's city that's empty, then march capacity, this is another win. Colossal March, yeah, this is a great one, especially for fighting, but yeah, if you wanted to use it for clearing farms, it gives you an extra half an hour. Now, Wounded Conversion. This one is a huge one, especially if you're playing KVK. Wounded Conversion is going to be absolutely critical. So I've done a quick switch now to my war mode, and you can see that this Wounded Conversion will give you 5% fewer casualties going to death. They will go to hospital instead. So this only really applies when you're fighting in permanent loss events. So KVK, Excalibur Invasion, definitely. But also Kingdom Raid. If you're attacking other people's cities, then a percentage of your troops will die. This skill will reduce that percentage. So this is a massive one for saving your army. Now there are other levels as well. But now here's the interesting one, Life Preserver. This is the same thing, wounded capacity, but this one is 30% and it only lasts 30 minutes. You can only use it once a day, so really be careful when you start using this. Check out my videos here on the KVK event for how to use the Life Preserver for the best. Now there are siege improvements as well, but in all honesty, you just don't need siege attacks. So very early game they might be okay, but in all honesty, later on, siege are just not worth fighting with unless you're sending them off to die, knowing that you don't mind losing them. So no need to do both of these siege ones, it's only one. And yeah, going all the way to the top, all troops will apply to all your different categories of troops, so it is very beneficial. So that's the war branch. Let's look at the economy branch. So you've got construction speed up. So if you're finding yourself with enough resources but not enough speed ups to get through your builds, construction, there we have it. Food production, wood production, research speed as well. So all of these skills here can increase the rate at which you get these extra upgrades completed. So definitely helpful for that. Instant yield, this is a good one. Let's switch my talents again. Yeah, so instant yield. Now this is a nice one. You can get 5 hours worth of production from your resources buildings up to twice a day. And yeah, that's a good one to just keep building that account. So if you have the quick switch, you want to be making sure you switch twice a day to use this one either way. Now development, this one is another active skill, so you can get 5 minutes of up to 20% speed improvement on both construction and on research. So this is a great one during those construction research build days where you need to get a lot done. So how do you activate these active skills? Well, it's the book at the bottom right here. So if you click on there, you can see all the different skills that are grayed out until you've got them activated. So you can select the correct one, click activate. Be really cautious, these have all got limited times on them and they do have cooldowns as well. So before you use that instant yield skill, you just want to make sure that you've got everything boosted as best as you're going to have. So if you, for example, are going to boost your farms and you haven't done it yet, boost them and then use this skill. Don't use the skill and then boost them. You'll get twice as many resources if you've used the boost here. You can see my glowing city and my glowing building here. That means that it is boosted. Check you've got the correct gathering hero in. So I'm on Lunar here, but there is also a gathering hero for solar. So you want to make sure that it's the resource production skills are being maxed out in your city. So for me, Sir Gareth, he's got my my production skills, and yeah, get those all active before you click this button. So make sure you've got your gathering gear. So for example, you've got the bow here, bow of Tristan, and also the ring of production. Both of these before you make that move. And now you just click activate, and you're going to get a full 5 hours worth of your production. Boom, there it is. So that's a really nice one. And then we've also got the instant gather skill. So this one is a great one. Use it once a day. Send all of your gathering troops out to all the highest level tiles you can, excluding your mine. The Alliance mine, it does not work with instant gather. So all 4, 5, 6 marches, however many you've got, get them out to the top level 10, level 8 mine, whatever you can get to, and click that button. Now the third branch, balance. This one's a little bit more interesting. The other two are really obvious. Balance doesn't really mean a lot, but let's have a look through and see what we've got. So Monster Hunter, increase your monster hunting speed. So this is useful for getting places quicker, but in all honesty, I wouldn't go out of my way to get hold of that one. Troop load, useful in, I'll switch you to my war mode and show you that once I've got as far through the war as I need to, I'm still using balance on top. So I believe that troop load, that's a good one during war mode. If you're going to kill other players, take stuff away from them, really handy to do it in fewer turns. You want to clear that city and move on. You don't want to be sitting target waiting to be hit. Monster stamina, now you only need it to be active once a day, but it's a really great one. 20% reduction in the cost. If you're only doing 5 monsters a day, this can still save you a lot of extra stamina. Okay, so we're in the war branch, so I'm now assuming I'm set up for war, and you now need to choose which of these balance skills are best for war. Training capacity, training speed, those are things that you can run when you're not at war. So I would have that. If you see, I'm going to switch now to my non-war mode, and here it is, the balance tree. I go through the training capacity, training speed branches when I'm on my non-war mode. I also, just because I've got the points left over, I'm also doing hospital capacity and healing speed. Healing speed, this is a good one when you're not in war mode. You also have that third thing you might want to do. So you've got fighting, you've got gathering, but you've also got healing. So there's a lot of good healing things you can do here. So make sure you choose whichever best healing configuration you need. It's nice to put it into war mode. So when you're in war mode, you don't need to switch those talents if you're in the middle of a battle. So keep that in mind. Storage protection, again, it's more beneficial at the start to protect what you've got. Stamina recovery. Now this one is should be running all the time if possible. Stamina is one of those big ticket things where you can get so many good things. If you grind your account hard, extra stamina is such a big one. Trap attacks, the beginning of the game, traps have a marginal purpose, but later on traps are absolutely worthless. They just don't get powerful enough to match the troops they come up against, so don't worry about traps. Now, population surge, this is an important one for building troops, so hopefully you can use this every single day. If you've got this set up, it will give you a 25% reduction in your build costs for troops. Now, building an army is really important. However, if you don't have the resources to build a massive army, it's probably better at the start to live with a smaller army and just keep building your stronghold level up. Your army unto itself is not going to be powerful enough unless you're a bigger spender. If you're a big spender, yeah, this is really, really helpful for saving those resources. So, Monster Hunter, troop load, yeah, hospital capacity again. So I'm a big fan when you're fighting. If you can activate hospital capacity, that's also a win. When you're fighting in things like Kingdom Raid, for example, then your hospital capacity is a huge win. The first losses you can have massive amounts of troops who just won't even be risking death. Then we've got wall defense. I've not come across wall defense having a massive impact on the game, but I may be wrong. So it's certainly a useful one for defensive formations. So if you're going to be in your castle, you've already maxed out your attacking buffs, your war buffs, and wall defense, that will help. Instant heal. Now this is a big one. If you've just lost a load of troops, your hospitals are filled, then the first thing you want to do is use your instant heal. This one will give you a massive reduction, 10% of your troops back free. Now you can just run this once every day and you'll get 10% and then 9%, 8%. You'll never get them all back, but you can get a big chunk of them back. So it's definitely worth considering. If you're short on resources, leave your army in your hospital and just keep knocking 10% off per day. Okay, so that's the 3 different branches. So there's a lot in there. The Lord really has 4 different types of things that you're going to be doing. 1, economic growth. So building, researching, gathering, and farming. 2, going to war. Really important. This is a big one. 3, healing. So you've just been to war, your hospitals are full. There's some major things you can do for healing. 4, building troops. So now if you're doing a major change to any of those 4 things, it's time to think about resetting your talents. Your quit switch might be good, but you can do more with your talent switches. So if you've not got the instant heal in either of your standard setups, instant heal 10% of your resources. Check it out. If you're spending 100 million resources, getting up to instant heal is worth 10 million resources on just the first day. If you're willing to keep it for a few more days, it can be worth more resources still. So definitely worth considering making a talent switch change. So how do you do it? Well, you've got the little circle here, so click on here and you've got the Lord Talent Point reset. So yeah, where can you get hold of those? Well, let's go to my solar account now, shall we? Okay, so those resets, you can get them actually reasonably cheaply some days in your Alliance store. So if you do check this out, it's not on deal today, but it's often 90% off. So at that, it's definitely worth buying a few if you've not yet got that quick switch, and it's always worth having a few lying around otherwise. And if you check out your Spire loot here at the bottom, if you've gone far enough through the Magic Spire, then you do have access to the Lord Talent Points here. It's 768,000 credits, which is actually quite a lot, especially when you're starting out. So look at the Alliance store and try and get them on deal if you can. Stay ahead. Try not to switch every day, left, right and centre. It does get more expensive, but yeah, it's definitely worthwhile if you're doing something big, about to do a major set of upgrades. Check out this video here for more on how to progress through the Magic Spire if you're struggling to open up these top level prizes. Check out this video here, it'll take you through the different things you can do to boost your battle stats to fight better in King of Avalon. I'm EnglishTim, thanks for watching today.